I have here my second whiskey of the evening. This one is a Writer's Tears, and it's a sample, by the way. Big sample. Writer's Tears Inniskillin Ice Wine Cask, limited edition, bottled at 46% alcohol by volume. There is more information on this, but first, what I'm going to do is pour a dram, and then I'll go through that information for you. Get this mason jar open. What a novel idea. Mason jars. They are cheaper than this whiskey has made its way to me. They're a little difficult to pour sometimes. You spill a little bit. This came to me by the actions of Mike Mehnert, who lives near Sudbury, Ontario. And he was kind enough to send me 6 mason jar samples of different whiskeys. And this is a special one because I even have the samples here. Number 1, Writer's Tears Inniskillin Ice Wine Cask, 46% alcohol by volume. Natural, non-chill filtered and bottled at 46% ABV. This elegant expression has been finished in hand-selected ice wine hogsheads from Inniskillin Winery in Ontario, Canada. Okay. Hogsheads from Inniskillin in Ontario, sent to Ireland. Yeah, okay. A distinctive marriage of single pot still and single malt Irish whiskey, matched perfectly with the intense natural sweetness of the ice wine, limited edition. Now this might be very interesting because I like this dessert wine, sweet wine finishes. Like Sauterne is like great, and if this is anything like a Sauterne finish, it should be just lovely. Let's give it a little 46%. Maybe it has some legs. Oh, sheeting action. Zoom, down it goes, and there's trails of drops on the glass. Trails of drops. Ah. Right away, this is sweet and fruity. Right away, I'm getting some of that ice wine kind of sweetness. It's not obvious that this is an Irish whiskey to begin with. I'm not getting much of that typical aroma that you get from the unmalted barley. It's covered up by the sweetness of the ice wine. But this does smell good. It's a little woody, it's a little malty. I'm even getting a little bit of a fungus note. like mushrooms. Or it could be a combination of the ice wine and something else, maybe the unmalted barley or something that's giving me that little bit of a fungus mushroomy note. This is very interesting. Let's see. I should have refilled my water. I'll be right back with some more water. Okay, I'm back. I have a full glass of water. Cold water. Cleanse that palate. I'm still getting that sweet fruit. And a little bit malty. And a little bit of unmalted barley now. I should taste it. Well, intensely sweet. Intensely sweet on the palate. Oh, wow. That's a little too sweet for me. If you like dessert wines, this is probably the whiskey for you. That's quite a dessert wine overcoat. Oh boy. But maybe the second sip won't be quite such an alarm. Maybe I'll be able to pick out something more than just the sweetness. Because on the nose, there's other stuff going on here. Oh, wow. I mean, I have a sweet tooth, but this is a little too sweet for me. Too much. It's cloyingly sweet. It's it's so sweet that I don't taste much else but the sweetness. And it's still sweet on the tongue. It's still making my mouth water with the sweetness. And even into the finish, it's sweet. Wow. This is something very different. I imagine that those hogsheads that had contained the Inniskillin wine, the ice wine, I imagine those things were not anywhere near dry when the Irish whiskey was put into them. Hogsheads. Oh, Those must have been wet hogsheads. Oh. Once again, the sweetness, but it's not quite as sweet as it was now that I've had a couple of sips. You can't tell it's Irish whiskey, though. There's just so much of that sweetness going on. Wow. Well, Mike Mehnert, interesting little whiskey here. This is probably the sweetest Irish whiskey I've ever had. And it's a blend of malted a single of malted whiskey or malted barley whiskey, malt whiskey, and Irish pot still whiskey, which has malted and unmalted barley in it. Wow, that is something else. Yeah, if you're a big fan of sweet dessert wines and you like that in your whiskey, this is the one for you. Oh, but wait. Since I took all the trouble of getting this water here, maybe I should try it with some water. See what that does to it. Maybe that makes the sweetness a little less cloying. I hope so. Okay. I think that may have put a kibosh on some of the sweetness. I'm getting some of the maltiness. Not as sweet as it was. No, that's just right. I added, what, 3 or 4 drops of water to 18 milliliters of this. And now it's a lot nicer. A lot nicer. Now it's palatable. I got some of the sweetness. I got some of the that unmalted barley note. Oh yeah. With water, this is a lot better. And I still have some left. Slanchava.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Yeah.